Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and today I thought I would answer one of the frequent questions I get when people post up things they're trying to do with their training, and they always say, hey Jason, is this enough for maximal muscle growth? And the answer is, of course not. But if you guys would please click like down below, it would be greatly appreciated. If you aren't subscribed or following, please do so. And if you would be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would appreciate that so much. All right, the reason I bring this up, sometimes I'll propose stuff and I'll make videos and I'll say, look, if people did this, they would get really good gains. Guys would get really jacked. Most guys would have the best physique in the room. Especially a lot of my older dudes, you'd probably have the best physique at the pool party, right? Everything else, you'd probably be the strongest guy in the room too, if you just did certain things. Okay, and then people will spin off that and they'll start linking stuff of going, is this enough for maximum growth? Is this enough for optimal gains? And it's like, they'll have 8 sets of muscle group. And it's like, I think people need to understand almost none of you should be worrying about maximum gains. Let's come back over to who I give that information for. If you just want to be really fit and you want to have a physique that the average person is really impressed by, right? The average general population person is really impressed by. Or you want to have a physique that even the average gym noob comes in and they want to take advice from you. Do you need to worry about maximum gains? No. When do you need to worry about maximum muscle growth? When you decide to become a professional bodybuilder. Okay? And what people need to understand, 80, 85, 90% of maximum gains is nowhere near, not even remotely close to the level of dedication you need there. So yeah, when I'll put out a program and be like, yeah, you do full body 2 or 3 days a week. You could probably, the only isolation you might need is some curls or whatever we throw in, okay? Or some calves. That doesn't mean you're gonna get maximum gains. It means you're gonna get really, really good gains. That's what we're saying. And for most guys out there, again, we need to be clear. That is all most people are seeking. Most people on this channel even are seeking, of any of the people who are viewing in. But people come in and they ask these questions about maximum gains, and I'm like, I need to see your whole lifestyle. Because here's the thing, we could talk about, sure, what might produce maximum gains. Are you recovering from it? Are you sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours a night? Do you have your stress managed? Do you have a stressful job? Okay, do you see where we're going with this? When we start talking about trying to make maximum gains in the gym, you're like, I want to squeeze every last percentage, because that's what maximum means. Is your lifestyle geared around it? Do you sleep 8 to 10 hours a night? Do you have no cheat meals? Like, is your diet all whole food so that you recover? Are you gonna have perfect nutrition? Are you gonna completely avoid and abstain from alcohol, anything recreationally that might interfere with recovery? Are you gonna maintain a low stress level? Are you gonna find the lowest stress job you can find with the least hours so that you can focus on your training and your sleep and your nutrition? People are like, no, I'm not gonna do all that. Well, then quit worrying about maximum gains, because that's what you were talking about. Because we could write all the programming in the world, but you're not going to recover from it. So if you start talking about maximum gains, yeah, you're going to need to isolate everything. You're going to need big compounds, and you're probably, if you're chasing every last percentage, yes, you're going to need to isolate the long head of your triceps. You're probably going to need to isolate the soleus of your calf, your rear delt. You're going to need to isolate certain parts of your hamstring potentially. Okay, do you understand that? That's what maximum means. You're going to have to go through and make sure that every last head of every muscle is fully stimulated through the week. You're probably going to need more volume than we recommend to get 90, 95% of your gains, right? Dude, a lot of you guys could get jacked off 6, 7, 8 sets a week per muscle group, up to 10. But that's like 80, 85, 90% of your possible muscle growth. You probably need 15 to 20 really hard sets. Maybe some of your weak points might need a little more if you're chasing maximum gains. All right? Almost all those sets are probably going to need to be to failure, or very, very close to, if you're chasing maximum gains. Okay? And so that's what people aren't understanding. They'll ask that and they'll say optimal, they'll say maximum, and it's like, you're going to have to do all that. You may be spending 3 times as much time in the gym. You're going to have a lot of 2-hour workouts. They might be 3-hour workouts. You might be doing 5 or 6 of them a week. Okay, do you understand? That's what maximum means. you're going to have to go through and stimulate everything. And then you're going to have to recover from it. So you're not going to recover from it if you're not maximizing your lifestyle. All your stress is managed, your sleep is on point, recovery, maybe even doing whatever you have to do to recover, whatever extra soft tissue work, okay? And so what I would point out to a lot of people, when they're like, well, this is getting crazy, that's an obsession. But you said maximum, right? So again, at that point, unless you are somehow making your living off of it, unless you are somehow making your living off of it, worrying about maximum is really, for most people, a waste of time. And you better be in perfect health too. So you have that, and then at a certain point, you're going to have to maximize drugs probably within the confines of what you're allowed to get away with. So again, maximum is not what most people should be chasing. And if you're chasing truly maximum, then you are looking at really serious, dedicated, probably competitive bodybuilding. You probably better figure out how you're going to make the money to pay for it, and probably pay for the best coach. Because if you're having to ask somebody, you definitely need coaching. You're going to need to probably hire a full bodybuilding professional coach. You're going to need to hire them for that, because you clearly don't know if you're asking about maximum. So that's my point. All right, the reality. Most guys could do a lot less. They could do a lot of the training I talk about. They could be doing full body 2-3 times a week. They could do some plyometrics. They could do some GPP, right? They'll get phenomenal results. I got guys who do 6, 7, 8 sets a week per muscle group, 6 to 9 sets a week a muscle group, 3-day push-pull legs, 4 upper lowers, or full bodies. Okay? They get great results. They get good results. It's not maximum, but their lifestyles aren't geared towards maximum. A lot of these guys have wives, kids, busy careers, other hobbies. Okay? So in that case, they're just like, dude, I just want to be strong and fit and jacked and healthy and athletic, and I want a good physique when I'm hanging out with the other. I want to have better body than the other guys, and that's it. And for most people, you don't need that. You don't need maximum. If your goal is to just win regional meets in powerlifting, you don't need to obsess at that level. So when we start talking about maximum, that's if you're not really a serious high-level competitor in something. For most people, it is simply not worth it. A lot of younger guys who aren't doing it, well, it is for me. No, I promise you it won't be eventually. Like it's going to fall to the wayside. Fitness should be part of our lifestyle. We should all be leading fit, healthy, athletic lifestyles. But really, this idea of chasing maximum gains, most of you are, if you're doing a minimalist program and you've only got 7 exercises in it, you know you're not getting maximum gains. You can get really, really, really good gains, though, that are way better than average. And that should be good enough for most people. And that's usually what we're talking about.